of time that we get together and learn more about technology. Today we've got two different presentations, both stemming from our introductory of the fact that sometimes we need to do things ourselves because the supply chain is not helping us. As always, my co-host is Bill James. Bill will be here to handle any kind of problems that you might be having with Zoom. So if you go to the chat box, you can be able to send him a chat and say, Bill, I'm having trouble with this and that. He'll take care of that. If he needs help, I'll help out too. All questions go to Judy. They do not go to our presenters. They don't always see the chat box because they're presenting. So if you have questions for Bob in the beginning or Marcia at the second half, drop down those chat box and select Judy Toulour and send her the questions that you have, and she will feed them to our presenters. If there's some time after Bob's done before it's Marcia's turn, he will answer some questions then. After Marcia's done, we will take all the questions that she has for both groups. And then when all those questions are over, then we will hit the open mic button and let everybody share with what they have. We're going to start out today with Bob Bowser, who's the director and acting program chair for the Seniors Computer Users Group of Greater Kansas City. And Bob also serves on APCUG's board of directors. We're happy to have him with us on his first Wednesday workshop. And he's going to be talking to us about eCards. So Bob, I'm going to turn everything over to you.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to share my screen here, if I do this right.
You got it.
I'm on, yeah, but I don't see my. Oh, I see what I'm doing. Okay, we'll move that there. There we go. Just wanted to. Okay. As John said, I'm Bob Bowser. I've been with the Senior Computer Users Group for about 10 years. And I've been with computer clubs for about 40 years. So been around them for a number of years. I've been a presenter for a lot of items. I've been a teacher. I've been a little bit of everything. I've been president of 2 different clubs. And anyway, I've had some experience with this. This is my first Wednesday workshop. Happy to be here today and going to talk about electronic greeting cards. But I'm going to warn you right off the top, I'm not an expert in this particular field. It's more a case that somebody needed to know about electronic greeting cards in my group, and I took the time to put together a presentation and gave it to my group last month in thinking of the holidays coming on and wanted them to be prepared to use electronic greeting cards if that's what they wish to do. Okay, thank you. I should point out, I divided the group. Well, let me tell you what I did. Is I went in and I did a search, just an internet search, and for electronic cards, ended up with many pages, but chose to take the first 2 pages, rule out all of those that were ads, because I didn't feel like I wanted to deal with people who were paying a lot of money just to be at the top of the list. And selected, I don't know, there's probably close to a dozen different websites that offer electronic cards. And then I divided them into 4 groups. There's the free electronic cards. There's those that have both free cards and some paid. Then there's a group of paid cards. And finally, in that group of a couple of pages of my search, I ended up with some review groups. So I've got a couple of websites that have reviews of electronic cards. Is something that covers a lot of the cards, a lot of the websites we're going to look at, but it also adds some new ones that you might find interesting. with that, let's look at the first one that I have in the free group. It's 1, 2, 3 greeting cards. And the way I did this, the first dot and sometimes the first two are what were described on my web search for that particular site. And then I made a few comments. I tried to keep the comments short and sweet. For instance, the 1, 2, 3 greeting cards, I said it's free. I saw a lot of holiday e-cards and a lot of ads. So let's go to that real quickly. That's what my plan is, to go back and forth. We'll look at the presentation and then we'll look at the websites themselves. Now, getting into the website, you can see real quickly that they have Christmas, Hanukkah, season's greetings, and a number of different ones. We'll just use Christmas as our general item because it's just easy to get to. I already have you. The reason I said I already have you, that was an ad for Google Fiber. And I am on Google Fiber here in Kansas City. We were one of the first cities to have it. Anyway, Merry Christmas. We have 701 cards under the Merry Christmas wishes. Sometimes it's fun to figure out how to get to them because I don't, oh, there's my link. So we'll link to them and we can see that there's a lot of options. That was page 1 and the pages go on to 3, 4, 5, etc. Again, I'm not going to go into deep detail on any of these pages, but this one is available. And everything I found on here was free. I didn't find any places where they wanted me to pay. So that's how far I got on it. Well, it knows I'm ready to leave. So let's see. Oops, wrong one. Oh, John, this my Zoom at the top. I don't need that. Is there a way to get that off? Yeah, there is. Okay. Sorry
yeah,
about that,
you can go up, and if you drop the little extra, there's a thing that says hide the bar. It's actually Control-Alt-Shift-H to do it by the keyboard.
Okay, thank you. I have 2 monitors. I'm kind of lucky in that regard, so I just put it off on a second monitor. Anyway, so we'll go on to the next one. 1, 2, 3 greeting cards. Has a lot of holiday cards, but there were a lot of ads. Next one is called JibJab. You can personalize your e-cards. These are almost all funny greeting cards. They're free, they're humorous, but I kind of felt like some of them might be in poor taste. Nonetheless, it was on my first 2 pages, so it certainly turned out to be one of them that we were going to look at today. So we have all kinds of video cards here. I'm generally, you can see the Christmas is at the top. Now, I did my first work on this early in November, and not all of the websites had Christmas easy to get to. As I checked them yesterday, they all are really pretty easy to get to. So a lot of different cards. Again, it's a lot of humor. Not necessarily my cup of tea, but again, it could be somebody's. They might like to use that particular one. So that's JibJab. Here's one called OpenMe. The claim is that it has the best free e-cards available to send via Facebook and email. It's a free membership. It is required, and we'll see here. Go to OpenMe and let's see. Here's upcoming holiday. That would be good. Christmas. When I've worked with this in the past, it lets me look at the front page like we are, but should I decide that I want to look anymore, Well, I guess it does let me get there. I'm getting farther along than I usually get on this one. I usually end up requiring me to sign up, but I haven't signed up, but I know there's a lot of eCards there, and we certainly could see them here and go through and pick one out if anyone is of interest to you and follow through. So that's JibJab. No, I'm sorry, that's OpenMe. There's way too many of these. Okay, next we have CrossCards. These are all Christian eCards, online greeting cards by email, friends, family, free, and it seemed to be a reasonable site. So we'll go to that and look at it for a little bit. We have wallpaper, Christmas cards, and more Christmas. We can go out to the Christmas cards and see what different ones are available. Let's look at Joy and Wonder. So we can send this card directly from here, share it on Facebook, Twitter, and I mean, if you're having trouble seeing what that last one is. Anyway, again, this is free, and as I tell all of our members, if something's free, you got to pay for it some way, and the way you pay for it is through the ads. So there's going to be ads throughout this site as well. Next, we have Smilebox. Now, again, we're still in what's mainly free, not requiring any payments. You can easily personalize free eCards online, create electronic greetings. My comment in this case was it's free, but requires an account to even look at the site. Maybe this is the one that I was thinking of before. After looking at so many, I get confused sometimes. Okay, so here we have Celebrate Christmas. And 20 million happy readers or users, that's a nice sign. That's some help at the bottom. I know the sign-in always is up here at the top, and most of them have a sign-in or way to get to and make your actual cards up. So here we have Christmas cards. In the background, you may hear our siren. We have nice weather in this part of the country until we have nice storms. So we have monthly tests of all the warning systems. So if I want to create a Christmas card, and I might pick this one with the elves, the instant I do that, it asks me to sign up. So I can explore thousands of designs, but I do have to have an account to do that. That's definitely the one I was thinking of. Okay, so that completed the areas that are pretty much 100% free. And we get into the area of the free eCards and the paid cards. So on these sites, as I went through them, I could find ways to do free cards, but I could also see where they were hoping that I would pay something and participate in their programs. So this one is simply called eCards. Seems like an appropriate name. And when we get to it, we have a join, members, search. We have cards, and it has a quick list of holidays and things that might be of interest. And we have Merry Christmas. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Christmas, and we get to the Christmas cards. I'm going to show more cards. And again, we have a number of cards, and I can show more cards. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Then I get into that pretty much their whole list. No, I guess not. So if I pick one of these cards to look at, and we could get an interesting electronic card that actually has sound and animation and things like that. Go back here. And again, they offer quite a few cards. There's more cards down here at the bottom, and all kinds of different areas. That we can select from. Okay, this next one in this area is Greetings Island. You can create and design greeting cards to print or send online as eCards. Choose from thousands of templates for every event, birthday, thank you, wedding. My comment is it's free and paid. The paid part is $24 per year or $3 per month. We go to Greetings Island. We have different ways to look at things. We have birthdays at the top. Then we can get down to events, holidays, and that's where we'll go today. We'll go to Christmas cards. Again, there's a number of cards here. If you see the word premium underneath the card, then that's going to be require a payment. You won't be able to do that one free. If it doesn't have that, then you can actually customize them. It's available as free. It can be a printable card or an e-card. So you can go in, customize, and put in your own description and what you want to. Well, we'll look at it real quick. On the customize, it comes up. I can add a photo. I can edit the inside. I can add text. I can actually have different, have text on both sides. I can have a picture on one side and a text on the other. And I can have a photo with some text below it and then text on the other side. So different ways that you can go through that editing process. Okay, let's go back. Okay. And with that, most of the rest will be in the paid e-cards. We have Jackie Lawson cards first. That seems to be a real popular one. Paid membership would be $30 for 2 years or $20 for 1 year. We go to the site and we can go down here to Christmas. And we see a lot of different cards. Now we can look at a card by selecting it. I think that one's, let's look at this one. I didn't look at it yesterday. So again, if we click it, I don't know if you all are hearing much music. It's very soft, but there is some music with it and some animations. Seeing in the kitchen, and kids are putting together something. I was checking another one, and it had you click at various points in it to make it go from scene to scene. Very nice animation, nice sound. Got about half a minute left. Let's go ahead and skip to the end. So those are cards. If I go back, I can pick any of these others and look at them as well. So if you join, prices and membership are up here, and you can get access to any of these cards that you might want to use. So the next one under the paid is the American Greetings. The keeping in touch, eCards are fun, easy way to send a message. Send free eCard online greeting cards. But every time I would try to figure out how to send a free one, I ran into some difficulties. Anyway, I did find where you could have a paid membership of $40 for 2 years, $30 for 1 year, or $7 a month. The first one, you can't go monthly. So this one would be one is if you just wanted to use them for Christmas or the holiday time, you could join for a single month and send out cards. So let's see here. Celebrate Christmas spirit. Let's see if we can go to that. Oh, here's your free trial. And that's probably what they meant by free. So you can actually have a free trial and probably send some cards under that method. So if I pick a card here, tap to begin it, and it shows you how it goes through the process. See where I can put my own name in, and not sure this really has much animation or anything. I haven't worked too much with this particular one. I'll go back to, but if you go to holidays and occasions and down to Christmas, you could get a lot more to look at and to select from. You have eCards, printable, paper, etc. So, American Greetings. The next one is Blue Mountain, and interestingly enough, the paid membership prices are exactly the same as the previous one. It says choose from hundreds of original templates to personalized printable and e-cards for holidays, birthdays, and more. Again, this is Blue Mountain, so we'll go to Blue Mountain. And it's got a nice little calendar with the upcoming holidays. And if you're a member, you can put in birthday so that we'll remind you of that. So we'll just go to Christmas eCards. We have a lot of those. I'm going to the eCards for everyone. So I'll view all of that particular one kind. And you can see we have a number of choices for that. And at the bottom, there's several pages. Going back, I'm going to look at one of these. Let's try the Joy to the World. Oh, animation, sound. I don't know how long that goes. 40 seconds. Anyway, if you wanted to select that card, you could personalize it and send it, put an email address in. Oops, that's to myself, but that's okay. Say continue. And then I would need to create an account and sign in, which makes sense. It does have a free trial for 7 days, and then the memberships renew automatically. In order to cancel, you need to email them at help@support.bluemountain.com. So it describes that in it, and you don't want to forget that if you decide to sign up for one of these and don't want to use it any longer, because it will automatically renew. Blue Mountain. The next one is called Paperless Post. They said electronic greeting cards don't get lost. Never worry about mail getting lost. Send the e-card, remove the stress of wondering if the recipient, and the reason that stops with the 3 dots, as I said before, I pulled these right off of the search that I did. And that was the end of the description that it gave me. These are priced per card with varying cards for each card. So we'll go to Paperless Post. It really helps quickly if you're looking for Christmas cards or Hanukkah. They're right here at the top, easy to find this time of year. But a month ago, when I first got on, they weren't quite as easy to find, and I had to go up through the holiday cards to actually get to any Christmas cards or Hanukkah cards. So we have general holiday, Christmas, and then if you're a business, most of us don't have to worry about that, but you could actually do a business holiday card as well. This looks like you can actually put your own card in if you've got something that you really want. Here's the trending cards. Let's see what's trending out there. And we have a lot of cards to choose from. Well, just pick one to look at. This is one where we can customize it. We'll take a quick look at that. But in order to do that, I have to have an account. So I'm going to stop here today. Need an account in order to go any farther in this particular site. The login up on the right and a sign up if you're not a member yet. Again, Paperless Post. The next one in my list is Punchbowl. It says browser e-cards, customize, send free cards and greeting cards for birthdays, thank you, Valentine's Day more. Send e-cards free now. So again, I put this in the paid group because I didn't really find an easy way to send them free when I first looked at it. So this is Punchbowl, and we'll go to Punchbowl. So it's online, both invitations and greeting cards. I also discovered that Evite, which is a site you may be familiar with, that is mainly invitations, or at least I think of it that way, also has some greeting cards. And we'll see that when we look at the reviews in a few minutes, it's one of them that they talk about in the reviews is Invite. So here it's pretty easy to find. Well, again, I'm looking at invitations on the left, greeting cards on the right. We'll go to Christmas again. We can select, we'll just preview this one. Seems appropriate with our masking, as we seem to continue to need that. You can personalize the design. They want you to send, or you can send a thoughtful gift. So you could get an Amazon or a gift card from someone else. I'm going to say no thanks. Continue on, and then in here, the inside, this is where you can edit your message. Any message you want. You can add the gift card at any time. Get to the envelope. Again, you can change it. And looks like it's a good way to do that. Let's see here. So again, there's a lot of different cards here. And this is one where I can see from my bar on the right that there's going to be a lot of cards before I get to the bottom. So you have a lot of options. That one. Oh, that was Punchbowl. Okay, we're going next into the area of physical cards. I can't remember if I mentioned that when I was telling you the groups I divided them into. I don't think I did, but there are a couple of sites for physical cards where you can actually create personal cards. You can send them, the eCards in particular, or you can have online greeting cards or personalized cards sent to you so that you can send them out yourself. I think there's also, we'll look at this website. So 50 style 5 or more Christmas cards. They always try to lure you in with different options that they have. Easy enough to do. Christmas cards. Go ahead and click on that. This is kind of interesting in that they have different ways that they divide it up. They have Christmas cards by sender, so from the family, from both of us, kids, from the pet. Don't think I've ever received one from a pet. And then they also have a way to select your cards by who you're sending it to. Their mom and dad, sister, brother, husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend. And then also they have some themes. They have the funny theme, traditional, cute. So, oops, let me look at that again. Okay, so up at the top, there's Christmas cards, and then they have all the different cards for her, for him, popular cards, themes and designs. So, oops, excuse me. Under popular cards, you can select the different kinds. similar to what we have already looked at, and looks to me like you kind of have to choose one of them. There isn't all Christmas cards here, so let's go ahead and look at that. Again, a lot of different cards available for you. And as I scroll down and get towards the bottom of a group, then it seems like it adds a few more. So we can scroll quite a ways. Let me pick one out to look at. Doesn't matter, it's okay. So here's where we see that we can do this as an electronic card for $1.50 each card. We can make them standard cards or large cards. They do it, of course, in millimeters instead of inches. It really screws up us people here in the States. I guess it's blank where you can customize it to whatever you want. So I'll go ahead and try personalizing it and see what happens. So first thing is I can add text to the inner part. So the standard greeting is wishing you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. You can add text at the top and the bottom of that. And then the back, it's kind of an ad, I guess. The Boon Pigs here on the bottom I can see, and Fuzz Face. I'm not sure what that's all about, but that's okay. We're going to get out of that. A lot of cards to choose from, and again, you can select them for who they're going to or who they're coming from. So it's kind of a nice feature there. And one called Dayspring, got free Christian eCards, we have box cards, inspirational gifts, etc. We'll go to their website. And we can choose a holiday. Christmas being at the top right now. So we have Merry Christmas. I believe, yeah, this was a Christian site, and so it has a lot of Christian-oriented cards for us. And pick one of those, and looks like you can email an e-card. These are all say email. I'll just go ahead and pick one out. We'll say we're going to email a card, put our name, our email address, put in the recipient's email address, send a personalized message, and send the e-card. And you'll note it has an eCAPTCHA at the bottom, so you have to put in like 2 capital G, capital M, and a W in this one. Of course, that would vary depending on which one you're or when you're sending. Keep it from being a robotic email. This has a different set of ways to look at it. We have collections, we have formats, box card, greeting cards. Interesting ways to do that. So that's Dayspring. And then next is Hallmark. Now, Hallmark used to be a real popular one with one of our members. And she said early this year, I don't remember, it had probably March or April, she suddenly got a message from them that they were no longer doing eCards. And when we go to their website, there's no statements at all about electronic cards any longer. It's totally physical cards. And if you're not aware, Hallmark is headquartered here in Kansas City. So it's a local for us company. But they do offer a lot of cards and a lot of gifts. So you have a lot of different options you can look at here. We're going to stress the cards today, and we'll bring up Christmas. And we have a number of choices. We can see that it offers a different set of cards. We can scroll through. And it looks like it has 32 pages worth of cards. So if we wanted to pick one, we can see that we can send it to someone. There's a sign and send, a free card, so you can send some free. Now this, I believe this sends a physical card. If I'm not, I may be incorrect on that, but that's my understanding that they no longer do that. They do offer you the option, at least for me, I have a Hallmark shop that's 2 or 3 miles away, and I can drive to that and pick up any cards that I might order. So that's a Hallmark. Again, a lot of cards and a lot of other things too for Hallmark. They have ornaments, gift wrap, and a number of other things. Okay, so that was Hallmark. Now I said I had a group of reviews. I have a couple of articles that have reviews in them. We have the Strategist. This was a review that was done early February, or I think it was early February. And but it's for this year for e-greeting card services when snail mail isn't an option. Is the name of their article. We'll go to that real quick and look at some of the services that they included in their review. We will see some that we've looked at. We did not do Greenvelope. That did not come up in my group, but Smilebox definitely did come up. So it was one that we looked at. Punchbowl, again, that was one that we had in our group. Evite we did not, but I did mention that Evite was one that was included in a review. And this is the review I was thinking of. Paperless Post, that was one that we had in our group. Postable was not. Again, one of the reasons I included this was the opportunity for my members, and hopefully, if you're interested enough, that you can go in here and look at some of these sites as well. And if they fit you better than the ones I showed you, then sure, give them a try. Dayspring, that's one that we did look at. American Greetings is as well, and Hallmark. Now they talk about Hallmark eCards, but again, at least one of our members was told that they didn't do that anymore, and I'm not aware that they do. Jackie Lawson, we did look at. Group greeting, we didn't. There may have been a group, a type of e-card delivery in the groups I looked at, but since I was thinking more of individuals sending them out, I kind of left that kind of group out. And a group would be, for instance, if your board were to want to send a card to all your members, you might want to use a group card so that all the board members can sign up on that and then send it out to members. OpenMe, I believe that was one that we looked at. Tribute, we did not. And I think we're at the end of their reviews. Again, these were out here. I put them out here so that you could add a few more to the ones that I found in my review. So the other one was from Number One Reviews and their website. Again, some of these we've already looked at, and some of them we haven't. The American Greetings we looked at, taboo.com we did not. Blue Mountain, yes. Smilebox, yes. Vinted, no. Hallmark, yes. JibJab, yes. 123 Greetings, yes. iPrint, no. Send out cards, no. So they also have some links at the bottom of those for US online eCard sites. And then they also tell you about some discontinued sites at the bottom. And review coming soon on Punchbowl, which was one of them that we all looked at today. Now with that, I should have added a little card for questions if anybody had any questions that they wanted to ask. I'm open. Judy, did we get any questions so far?
Majority of my questions are, when will we get the links? And I told them that I would be sending them out today.
Wonderful. That's exactly what I wanted to hear.
You got it.
Okay.
Over to John.
Now, you know, and as Bob shows, we've got a lot of choices out there, and Free John here would tell you always go for free and try it out. And then if it doesn't work, then you can dish out the money for what you want to do. I need to remind a few people in our attendee list, our participants, that we don't know who you are, and we're not going to be able to match up your name to your email address because you are not using your first and last name like you did to register for this. So if you want any of the follow-up, and especially all those links for Bob's presentation, we need to know who you are. So either go into your picture on this tic-tac-toe board, and right top corner you have a button that says rename yourself, or put it in the chat box of Judy and say, this is who I am. I can't tell everybody because I'm in the witness protection program or I'm on the lam. So here's who I am. Please send me your follow-up.
And first names don't always work because we often have 3 or 4 people with the same first name.
And I think we've got one person in twice because of some computer problems. And if I'm looking, of course, we have no idea who iPhone is. Everybody, well, not everybody, is iPhone because that's your phone. So please make that change if you want to have follow-up material. At this time, we're going to switch channels. We're going to do still, making things yourself, which is our kind of a theme. But I sure wish that I had known this information that Marcia is going to share with us today a number of years ago when I tried to get people in computer classes to take a class on word processing, spreadsheet, PowerPoint. And I couldn't get anybody to think, well, I'm never going to do a presentation. I don't need to learn how to do PowerPoint. But as the nifty name that I popped into my head, this isn't your parents' PowerPoint. And grandparents. And Marcia's going to do it today and show us what all you can do with a PowerPoint program that's not just a plain old presentation. And as an introduction, since Marcia is joining us again, I always like to kind of let people know who we got here. Marcia lives in Sarasota, so she's down there where it's nice and warm, except we always get those letters from those people down there and says, oh, it's cold today. It's going to be only down to 60. And we people up here just laugh about that. She's an instructor for STUG, S-T-U-G, that's the Sarasota Technology User Group, as well as a professor for South University Online. And she presents to various local groups, and we're glad to have her presenting to our big group today. Marcia has a doctorate in MIS, which is Management of Information Systems, and she's taught skills in Microsoft Office products, among other things. And she's done that for decades. That's when I needed her. One of her favorite pieces of software is PowerPoint for the versatility and creative that it inspires. So Marcia, let me know what I missed out on teaching people about PowerPoint.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here, and I am going to share my screen, and I'd like to show you something first, and I'm going to turn off my virtual background so that you can see this better. I know some people are wanting to document their stories and the stories of the people that they love. And PowerPoint's a great way to do that. I'm going to show you a lot of different ways, but I also want to mention one other way, because I know at least a couple people here are thinking about maybe their memoirs or something for someone else that they love. Before I go there, I wanted to thank Bob for what he shared about e-greeting cards. I've received several of those in my email, and they have been a lot of fun. What we're going to be doing today, it's not the same thing, but it can be used for the same thing. It's just a little bit different. So I think they're all fun and they all have their places. First of all, what I wanted to show you, this is a book that I made for my mother. She just passed away, and I think it's glary for you. And on the inside, you'll see a lot of different pictures and topics. Well, what I did for this is called an ABC book. And my mom, she just passed away in August, but she had dementia for like 10 years. And for the last 3 years, she was in a home for elders who had dementia. And so I created this book for her so that they would know her better, the caregivers would know her better, and to document it for our family. And also we could read it to my mom and show her pictures, just to kind of jog her memory and things like that. So all you do is just go through the alphabet. And I like to do a little mind map or sketch it out, list all the letters of the alphabet, and then think of anything you can think of that goes with each one of those letters. And it can be fun in either PowerPoint or Word. Okay, now I'm going to share my screen, and let's see. And hopefully you are seeing my screen. Is that correct?
I see a swimmer.
That's wonderful. And I'm going to give you a couple of different presentation tips as we go along. For one thing, this isn't normally how my screen looks. Okay, let me show you how it normally looks. This is normally how it looks, but you don't want your people to see that. So if you'll write this, I'm on a Windows machine, perhaps somebody with a Mac could type in the directions in the chat of how you would do it. But you right click on your desktop, go to view, and then show desktop icons. Now you have a wonderfully clean screen, and it looks like you're organized and you're ready to go. Okay, I have PowerPoint. Now you can't do everything I'm going to show you in Google Slides or Office Libre. You can do many of the things, but you can't do all of them. For me, there's nothing that beats PowerPoint. You can get PowerPoint free if you go to office.com, and you can use it online. I'm using Office 365 and just totally love it. But if you wanted to purchase it, it's around $99 a year, but that will go on 5 different computers. So that's you know, pretty good deal. You can share it with 4 other people and have a really good suite of products. Okay, here's my whole premise, and I'll enlarge this so you can see it. In PowerPoint, in the bottom right-hand side, there's a zoom tool that you can make it bigger or smaller. They say a picture's worth 1,000 words. If you look at this picture, maybe you can come up with your own words, but you don't really know the story behind that picture. And unless we document our pictures, unless we say something about them, then that story is lost or modified to fit the viewer's perspective. For example, my mom, I have a lot of pictures from my mom that I just don't even know who they are. I don't know the story behind them. She couldn't tell me for the last 10 years. And that's just sad. I didn't know it was going to happen that fast. So you need to get those stories ahead of time. The story behind this photo, and I'm going to show you how you can document it in PowerPoint later. But the story behind this photo is this little grandson is the youngest of 4 boys. And he was running in the house, and a piece of sheet music fell off the piano onto the tile floor. And as he was running, as little boys will do, he was 8 years old. He's 9 now. That gives you a happy ending. He slipped on this piece of paper and fell on his head. And that night he was given a 5% chance of living because he had traumatic brain injury. And this little mark right here is the scar where they cut his skull from his forehead down around his ear and to relieve the pressure from his brain. And he did survive. When he came out of a coma, and the nurse said, I understand you're the baby of the family. And he told her, I may be the youngest, but I'm no baby. And she said, he's going to be fine. And he is. It's just such a miracle for us. And here are other pictures. Need to zoom that back down of when he was baptized, but you can see his scar in the front and in the back there too. And can you see how, if that's not documented, nobody knows the story? Now, the handout that you're going to get for my presentation is a PDF, and it tells you how to do a lot of these skills, most of these skills that I'm going to show you. Because I don't have a prepared slide deck per se to show you, I want to actually do it so that you can see it. I don't expect you to know how to do all of these things after an hour, but at least the more you're exposed to them and the more that you hear the need to document things, you'll be more aware, you'll know what's possible, and you have a resource of somebody who could help you, give you guidance. And so I hope that you enjoy what I have to show you. When you open up PowerPoint, it opens up to a title slide. And normally you'll have design ideas over here. These are great. I mean, somebody else has already figured out a design, and all you have to do is click in the placeholder and put in your text and the things that you want to say on that. That's fine. What I want to show you today is how do you do it from scratch so that you can tweak any of these design templates that you want. You can add anything to it that you want, and you have the control. When you're in PowerPoint, you'll have some slides, and if you click over here on the left-hand side, if you press enter, it puts in a new slide. That's a quick and easy way. I like quick and easy. So if you click and press enter, you'll get a new slide. Oftentimes, I don't even want their layout. If you go to the home ribbon, and I do encourage you to just take a little bit of time to study the ribbons, because they do what they say. Like home is, when you're lost, go home. And it has a lot of the most commonly used tools on it. If you want to put anything into a slide, go to insert into. If you want to draw on it, go there. Design, transitions, that's movement within the slide or on the slide. No, I'm sorry, I messed that up and I know better. Transitions is movement between slides. I think animation should come first up there. That's why I got mixed up. So transition is movement between slides. Animations is movement on a slide. The slideshow, just what it says, the whole show, how you show it, and so on. When you do click on the ribbon, then you have groupings of icons. And the more you study them, the more you look at them, the more sense that they make, and the faster you can go. I have my quick access toolbar, it's QAT for short, below my ribbons. And these are just tools that you might use really often. And you can customize this by clicking on the drop-down arrow, turning things on and off, going to more commands, finding whatever you use. If you don't want to go to other ribbons to find your tool, you can add it right here just by clicking on it and then add. And then you can arrange it by moving it up or down within your list, and it will show up right here. And I find that very helpful, but that's going to look different for everybody if you customize it. Okay, so we're on this new slide. I don't want this layout. On the home ribbon, there is a layout tool in the slides group. So I'm going to click on the drop-down arrow, and you can see that there are many different layouts that you could choose. But what I want is blank. I want a blank canvas. It's my painting canvas, except for I don't paint. And in here, I'm going to go to insert. And because anything we want to put into that slide, we go to insert. In the images group, I'm going to go to pictures, and eventually I'll go to this device, which is my computer. But the stock images and online pictures are absolutely great. Play around with those and you'll find some amazing things. So I'm going to go to this device and to a folder where I have pictures, and I'm putting in this picture. Now this picture is pretty small, and I'm going to turn off my design ideas. While they're good, again, I wanted to do it from scratch. This is my grandmother, and she is an amazing woman. And I have a little story written up about her. And what I can do on a slide is I can go to insert, because I'm going to put text in this, go to a text box and drag that out, and then put my text in this text box. Now, in these pictures, we're not going for a wonderful photo shoot. It doesn't have to be perfect pictures. What we want are pictures that tell a story. And this is a story about my grandmother, who was born to deaf parents, and she was born deaf. There were 7 siblings, 5 of whom were deaf. Can you imagine that household? And especially for those 2 hearing children as well. I have a misspelling there. How she would have loved technology today. When I have my text in here, if I select the bounding box, if I have, you see the four-headed arrow? If I click on that, I have the box. If I just click there, you can see my cursor blinking. That won't do it. We want right on the bounding box. If I click on that, if I hold down the control key, look on your keyboard, find the control key and go 2 keys to the right of the letter P. It's a right bracket. And as I hold down control, every time I press that right bracket, it increases my font size so that I can visually make my font bigger. Okay. With the whole bounding box selected, that's when you can change your font style. And it doesn't really matter to me right now what this style is. I'll just choose that one. You can also change your font color. I wouldn't do that with this black and white photo, but it's easy to do that. And that's a good enough slide that you could tell the story. Now, there's lots of other things you can do. And sometimes you want the picture to fill the whole slide and you want your text to go over it, and it could be a problem. So I have some other slides. Okay, I wasn't sure if I inserted that picture or not. So we'll insert another picture, this device, and let's see. Okay, this picture, and I want it to be as big as the whole slide. But first, I want to crop it. And I'm going to zoom in just a tiny bit on it so that I can see it. And if I double click the picture, that opens up this picture format toolbar. So everything to do with pictures is on the picture format toolbar. And the way you get to the picture format toolbar is just double clicking on a picture. I want to crop it. When you click on crop, you'll see these heavy lines. And as I drag this in, it will, and I'll drag this here. I'll go like that. And then crop. Now I'm going to make it smaller, and I want this picture to fill the whole slide. Now I have Bright Slide, which is an add-in to PowerPoint, and it will automatically make it the right size. But not everybody has it, so I'm going to show you how to do it manually. I'm going to hold down my Shift key and come to the corner. This works in every program, so that's a good tip. Hold down the Shift key, come to a corner, and I'll drag it like that. So it's bigger than the slide. You can check to see how it's going to look. It's a little bit pixelated, so you want a better picture, but for what I'm going to do, it's good enough. I wanted to show you how to make it bigger than the slide. But now, how am I going to put text on there? So if I go to Insert, putting something in it, text box, and I'll draw a text box here. And then if I start typing, this color run, oh, we can't see it. So if I click on the bounding box and I go home, change my font to white, then we can see it. And I'll come back in. Was a celebration of hard work after months of practice. I have MS, and there was a time where it wasn't so easy for me to walk. So these are part of my family members, and they came over to my home, And we would take little walks and we'd take longer walks and we keep building up our walking. And then we finally got, so we could do this color run, which was a 3-mile walk for us. It wasn't really a run. And we went through all these colors, and the color goes through your clothing. I mean, we had color inside and out. So I could type all of that text in here. And I'm just going to copy this particular text so I can have more text in this box. And when I click off of that, your text may not show, depending upon the colors in your picture. And that's pretty much what I wanted to show you. So I'm going to go back to the bounding box. This isn't too bad, but let's make a gray text or something like that, so it doesn't show up so much. I want you to see how you can deal with that. So if you click on the bounding box, again, of the text box, and you'll be able to tell that you have it when all those little dots, those sizing dots are there. Then with that selected, look what's up here now, shape format. That wasn't there before, but we've selected a shape. We go to shape format, we go to the shape fill, and we can actually pick any color we want to. We can fill that shape with a color, and then you can make your text a contrasting color to the fill of that shape. That's a little bright. So let's go back to shape fill, more fill colors, and down here there's a transparency. So you can change this transparency so that, and then let me try the text again, and we'll make it black again. You can see it a little bit better, but that transparency, and you just play with that, that allows for the background to show through, so you still have an idea of what's back there, and you can still see your text. And I would also make this text bigger. And you can move it, you can rotate it, you can do all kinds of things with that. Now, say you wanted this picture. I can select the photo. I can hold down Shift and select the text box. Then I can go to my shape format. I'll go to my picture format. Nope. I'll right click and save as picture. And when you save as picture, you choose wherever you want. And it's going to choose a ping because there's some transparency in it. Then you can save this photo into whatever folder you want. And then you can put it in those eCards that Bob was talking about. You can upload it to your social media. You can email it to someone. You can do anything you want to with it. I'll show you some cards that I've done in Facebook and social media using nothing but PowerPoint. And it's just so much fun. Now, I have some other assets here that I'll show you how you can add these to your photo. So let's say I wanted this heart in this picture. No, we'll go to this picture. And I'll scale it a little bit more. Make it a little bit smaller from the corner. I'll turn it. and you can just personalize any of your photos. Add your text boxes, add your shapes. Now I want to show you how I did this. Again, blank layout. If I have a blank layout and I click after it and I press enter, all of the following ones will be blank. If I go to insert, please tell yourself, because we always go to insert whenever we want to put anything into the slide. Okay, insert shapes. And there's all kinds of shapes in here. We're going to choose a heart, so it looks like that. And we can fill that with a picture. And so we can go to shape fill and picture. This comes up. We'll just take our chances and we'll go to online pictures. And let's say we want a tree. So I'll just type in tree and just choose anyone, and eventually that heart will fill with the tree. Now you can add special effects, and maybe you want to bevel it. And you can also go to those special effects. So anytime you click on anything, check out your options. Like down here's options. It opens up this sidebar. And if you come down here and you change, let's say we want the color of the contour to be this green right here, we can use our eyedropper tool. Let me show you that again. Color, there's eyedropper. So we could click on any color. We could click on recent colors, more colors, or eyedropper. And then when we click on eyedropper, we can pick a color within our photo. Then we can go to insert, say it to yourself, word art, and I wish I could think of a wonderful tree thing. Don't ever, oops. Me. How about that? And we'll put this over that. We need it smaller, so I'm going to hold down my control and do the left bracket, which is one key from the P. And I'm going to change my text to white, and I'm going to rotate it. And I'm going to change the font. And if you know the name of a font, if you type the letter of it, when you click on the font drop-down box, if you type in a T, it will jump you to the T's. You don't have to scroll all the way down. But I want an A, actually, so that's clear at the top. And it's autography. Don't ever leave me, but you can't hardly see that. So I don't think that's a good choice, but I do like that. I do like that font. Based upon your font, you may want to make it bigger or smaller after you've chosen your font. Then with the text box chosen, hold down Shift, choose the shape, and go back to your shape format. Now you can group that, and it's all one piece. And now I can make it as big as I want. I can even come back in here again and make the font bigger if I want to after I've resized it, but I'd have to minimize it then again, if I wanted it smaller like that, you can rotate it and just have fun with it and add it to whatever pictures you have. For example, on this picture, I might go to insert shapes and do a text bubble and draw it here. We'll change the color of that. But you see that little yellow orange dot? That's the tab. And I can drag it down to Davy's mouth. I can move it with the four-headed arrow. I can type my text in and we should have him present to us. He was homeschooled and he, so when he graduated from high school last May, he also graduated with a bachelor's degree in IT. And he has all these certifications, A+, networking, you know, he's a programmer, all that kind of stuff. Well, 2 weeks ago, he just earned his master's degree in IT data analysis. So he's amazing. But with the shape field, I can come to shape and I can use my eyedropper tool if I want to and choose some color. I can go back to shape fill, go to more colors. I can change the transparency if I want. And that transparency is just kind of a guess. So you try it. If you don't like it, you go make it darker or lighter or whatever. You may not want the outline. You may want to turn it off, turn it on. You can do that. So I hope you've learned how you can add assets to a photo. You can add text. You need to add text to add your documentation, to tell your story. So now let's see how we can do a photo album. Okay, let's say, well, we could do a photo album of so many things. We could do a photo album for a birthday, for a funeral, for an anniversary, an engagement. We could do a photo album of a particular person's life, of your life, of anything you want to. So if you'll just think about some of those reasons why you might want to make one, then we'll do this. We're going to go to insert. Can you see? You know, if this were physical, there might be worn tracks for my mouse to go to insert. In the images group, it says photo album. This is not to be confused with photo book. However, let me tell you a secret about it's not a secret, it's just a tip about the photo books. Do your photos in PowerPoint or any other graphics program that you want to use. Do your photos and do your documenting and save it as a picture. You can do it any size that you want it, and get all of your graphics to go along with it and whatever. Save that as an image. Upload that to Shutterstock, Google Photos, SmugMug, all of those places that will do photo books, the hard copy books for you. That way, you're going to have text. You're going to have your story with your picture. What I find with most of those books, it will allow you a tiny little, it will show you a tiny little, I just saw the chat, sorry, a tiny little caption. And so by documenting your story that way, it's much better. Lloyd Lindsay, said, when you put your text over a picture, use the shadow feature for your text to stand out better. Shadow is good, and so is glow. So let me take out, well, let me take out all of this. And let's say I just wanted a little bit of the story. And and so I'll put some text on here. And then text effects. Here's shadow. You can use shadow. You can also use glow. And I like to come down to the glow options. And then over here, whenever you see this little paint can, that's your color. So you can go to color. I'll choose white since my text is black. Then I'll make that text bigger so that you can see it. And you can see that shows up really, really good. And it's pretty easy to see. If you click on that box again, you can control the size of your glow. And you can change the color of the glow to anything. You can change your text color to anything. Oftentimes I'll change the text to a color in my photo, something like that. And thank you, Lloyd, for that tip. It's just really good. And there's so many ways to do all of these different things. And I hope when you have questions, you'll write them down so you remember to ask them when we have question time. So back to the photo album. We're going to go to Insert, Photo Album, New Photo Album. It opens up this window, and here's a file disk. This is where you go and get your photos. So we're going to click on File Disk, and I'm in this. If I wanted to, I can, well, I'll just do that. I'll click on several of these. If I hold down Control, I don't click on continuous pictures. I can select whatever pictures that I want. I'll do these. It doesn't really matter what the pictures are of. Here's one daughter and her many different hairstyles. We can do that. And I want these gnomes as well. So then I can say Insert. It has all of these photos here. I can do some corrections to them. If I select it here, I can flip it. I can do some lightening and darkening and do some corrections. I can also change its position in the photo album by clicking on the up and down arrow, or I can remove it. I have picture layout fit to slide. Try that. Fit to slide. But again, be curious, computer curious. Click on the drop down arrow. You can have 2 pictures in a slide, 4 pictures in a slide. You can add captions. You can do anything you want to do. If you want to add other pictures that were not in that folder, click on File Disk again, and then just go to another folder and click, hold down Shift. We're fortunate that we have a daughter that lives in Hawaii. So what a fun place to visit. And they're fun people too. Insert. Now those photos are in here as well. Now when I say, I'm going to, oh, I can't do that. Click Create. And now it's just like that. It's created this photo album. And it has a black background, which I do not like. But that's easily changed. And what it's done is made these 2 fit to this slide. I wanted to explain this picture to you. I did this in PowerPoint. And this was a greeting card, quote unquote, to one of my daughters, and she has so many facets. Don't we all? We all have so many stories to us. So what I did was I found a photo of a diamond, and then I went to insert shapes, and let me see. I think I did this one. And then I just clicked on the corners of each shape that I wanted to do. Double click when you're done. Then I went to shape fill it with a picture from a file. And that's my husband and I in white. Now the thing of this is I may not like exactly what they put in there. So I can double click that, go to the picture format, and well, maybe not. I'm not going to go there today. But there are some things that you can change in that. I just want to go to too many places. It's a problem I have. I do remove the outline, so no outline. And then I just go to this shape, and I go to this shape the exact same way. Let me go over that again. Insert, shapes, and it's this tool right here, and it's called the freeform shape. Freeform shape. And then you just, I'll do it again. You click, 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 double click to end it. Then you can go to shape fill, picture. We'll go to online picture, and we'll say boy. Only if you spell it right, boy. Although there was a VPU too. Boy. Okay, we'll just put this little boy's picture in there. And there he is. So can you see how you could build all kinds of things, all kinds of ways? And it's just so much fun. So here's another birthday card that I made for her. This was her baby picture and all of her baby pictures. And these are other photos that I put in there. The daughter in Hawaii built a 5,000 square foot pavilion for indoor pickleball, an indoor pool, a climbing wall, weightlifting, a little mini putt thing, all kinds of stuff. So when I visit her, I don't even have to go anywhere. She has a resort. Okay, so I have these photos. To turn it into a slideshow, and I just really don't like this black, so I'm going to go to format background, and my color, I'm just going to make it white. 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 And apply to all. So now they're all white. I can make these bigger on the slide. I can add any of the things that I've already done. The text boxes to explain the picture, the call outs, you know, a thought bubble to say, my grandma Jackie crocheted this outfit for me. This was in Italy. You know, just whatever you want to put in there. Okay, let's say you're going to show it at, I don't know. Let's say you're going to show it at an assembly hall or something like that, and everybody's going to see these. So we need transitions in between these. If you have text on these, I recommend that you go to slideshow and rehearse timings. What that does is it starts the slideshow. You read your text slowly because you know what you typed. So read it slowly so other people can know what you're saying. And over here, it's timing it. Then I can click on it and it goes to the next slide. You do the same thing. I want these to be fast, so I'm going to click fast. But you wouldn't. You would do them as long as you wanted to. And are we at the end yet? Yes. The total time for my slideshow was 38 seconds. Do I want to save the timings? Yes. But you're not locked into it. You can go to any slide you want. You can go to your transition slide, and you can, it says after, you're going to forward after that many seconds. So say after a different seconds. Or if you go to the slide sorter view, you have it here, and you can rearrange your slides into any order that you want within the slide sorter view. Pretend like these have stories to them. Now, when I start this, a shortcut to start it in Windows is F5. And this one's going to be 13 seconds long because I was telling you to talk slowly, read it, and read it slowly so that you know. The others are going to go by very, very quickly. I could click my mouse button too, but you're going to see that this goes fairly quickly. And for like at a life event, what I do is I try to volunteer in our community when someone has passed away. I often don't even know them, and I have no idea how to help the family, but I can do something like this. But I don't know their stories, so oftentimes all I do is a photo album with the photos that they give me. Excuse me. That, I think that's the only service that I know to give that grieving family. And I had a friend, I did this after I learned that my friend paid $200 to a funeral home to have it done. Not any better than I could do it. Even though this is, you know, a complete photo album now, I can still edit it. I can still add call outs. I can still add hearts, gnomes, any PNG that you have, you can still add it. Excuse me. If you were going to show it at a life event, this is what I would do. I would go then to go to slideshow. My time's all right. I've got it, you know, how I want it. Then I would go to set up slideshow, and there's a loop continuously until escape. That's a good one because it's just going to keep repeating. And so if they're showing it in the background at a 50th anniversary or something like that, it's just going to keep replaying. I also like browse by an individual window, and you can click OK. Now, if I make this window smaller, I'm going to make that one, make this smaller. Now, if I play my slideshow, it's only going to fit in that window. If you only have one monitor and you're doing Zoom, sometimes it's nice for me to share the PowerPoint, not my whole screen, and then I can have a little bit of the chat or something else, the tools over here on the right-hand side, or something like that. Okay, I'm going to press escape to get out of that. I can also go to File and then Export and create a video. If I click on Create a Video, there are things that you can choose here. I just usually use the defaults and use recorded. I can tell I've been talking too much. I think it's almost your guys' turn to talk. I'm so sorry. use recorded timings and narrations because you can talk through your slideshow too. I'll show you that in just a minute. But once you're done, then you just click create a video. And what it does is it saves it as an MP4. You can upload that MP4 to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can email it to someone, although normally it's too big. It may be a little bit big for that, especially if you've added videos or music to it. So what I normally do then is that I'll put it in my Google Drive folder and I'll share it from there. And then they can see it from there. If you wanted music, I wonder where we would go if we wanted to put music into a PowerPoint. Of course, it's an insert. And then we'll come over to media. Audio and visual is in media. So we'll come to audio on my PC. And I didn't practice what music I wanted to use, but we'll just use that one. And what I do is I will grab this, this little icon and drag it off of the slide so you don't see it. And now you have a new ribbon called playback. Playback. And I want it to start automatically. I don't want to have to click anything. And I want it to play across the slides. And if I wanted it to play across the whole slideshow, loop until stopped. But you can add a variety of pieces of music to go along with your story. It doesn't have to be one piece. I don't know, since I didn't share sound, I don't really know if you're going to hear this. So let's just try it and you can tell me. You can hear it? Okay. And it's playing across the slides. Okay. And you can get music all over the place. Okay, let's say we also wanted to put in video. Insert, media, right here, and then video from this device. And, okay, this is a fairly short one, I think. I can choose that one and insert it and put it in here. But a more fun thing, well, I wish I hadn't deleted that. Let's just do that again. A more fun thing that I like to do is maybe I will insert picture television. Okay, I'm going to send that TV to the back and actually what I may do is I may duplicate this picture, which is Control D is the shortcut for that. And then I may crop it. And then I may make it bigger. Then I'll take this video, bring to front, and I'll make it fit in there. We have a playback here. You can trim your video. You can fade it in, fade it out. We want it to play automatically. And these aren't perfect, but hopefully you're getting some idea of some of the creative things that you can do within this. And then
one of the top reasons that people come to quilting is to capture memories, whether it be baby clothes.
So you can insert your video. And they're all on the insert ribbon media, audio and video. Know that everything you put into it makes it bigger, the file bigger. And, but it's so much fun. I wanted to show you another thing. I don't know if you can see people's hands in the gallery, Judy, but maybe they could hold up their hands. How many use Camtasia or some other video editing program to create videos? Okay, and perhaps you could just tell me, or they could raise their hand or something like that. Are there very many?
John? I do. I use Microsoft's old 2012 Live Essential Movie Maker.
Okay,
It
wonderful.
works great.
Good, good. Well, there's another thing that you can do with all these slides that you have documented your stories, etc. Go to File, Export, and change file type. And you can choose whatever file type you want, and you can choose JPEG or PNG. And then when you, so I'll choose PNG, save as, and it asks you, do you want just this slide, or do you want all of the slides? I'm going to cancel it before it gets there. But what it will do is it will save each one of these slides that you've personalized as an image, and then do with it what you will. Upload it to social media, send it as a card, put it in a card, put it in a photo book, import it into your video program so that you can manipulate it within there. I have a few more minutes, so I wanted to show you another tip. So I get assets different places. You can get them for free. You can purchase them from scrapbooking places or crafting sites. With the advent of cutting machines, like the Cricut, the Silhouette, things like that, and all different kinds of things. There's just all kinds of resources out there. So this file, it has all of these gnomes all together. But what you can do is duplicate that, go away, move it over, and I'm going to crop, double click it so the picture format comes on, crop it, and I'll crop it to there because I don't want to cut off his feet. Crop. I'll crop this one to there. Crop. Now what I can do is duplicate this one twice, and I'll crop one to here. Crop this one from both directions. And this one to that one. Okay, now these are individual, and you would do the same thing for those, but I can now copy this and I could put him on this slide, and I could remove the background, the white background. We'll try it. We'll see how it works. Mark areas to keep. I could have set the white as transparent, but that his beard would have also been transparent. We're going to say that's good enough. And now he's here. And if I wanted to, since I talked about animations, if I wanted to, I could put him here and animation and, oh, I know what we'll do. Never mind. I actually want him over here and animation. Click the drop down arrow to get more. There's a fun one on there. If you scroll down, there's a custom paths under motion paths, custom path, and I can just double click at the end, and then he'll scroll through there, and I could say with previous, but I want to delay it for 25 seconds. And then when you view it, like I've done little hide and seek bunnies and things like that for my grandchildren. When I send them things, they can peek and find the bunny. You can slow it down. You can do those kinds of things. Okay, now let's go to my Facebook page just to see a few of the things that I've done. And I tell you, all of these things are in PowerPoint. Okay. You know, just add some wordage to it. My husband got me a skydiving gift certificate for my 55th birthday 17 years ago. And you can add text and scriptures and whatever. And there are other programs, of course, that will do this. I have PowerPoint. I love PowerPoint. So why not use PowerPoint to do these things? And so you're just adding different things. It's not a traditional birthday card, but people seem to like them, and I enjoy doing them. Let me see. Today, oh, I did want to show you this one. There is a resource, and it's, let me tell you where it is because I have it. It's at presentationmagazine.com. Presentationmagazine.com. I love this site. And this isn't in the handout that I sent to Judy, because I always do things seat of my pants. And I added this afterwards. But you can get magazine covers, you can get newspapers, all kinds of things. So what I did with that, look, APCUG, Saturday, January 25th, 1892. This is my father and his brother, and a picture's worth 1,000 words, or is it? And you can put your own text in there to tell about your stories and your family stories, and make that. Our church has a Light the World campaign for the month of December, and you can just look up Light the World download and you can find a calendar, and it gives you things that you can do every day. So today's was to let your love shine. Jesus expressed love for others. Share a top 3 things I love about you message with at least 3 people. Then tag them on social media and invite them to do the same. So this is one of our daughters, and I chose 3 things. I created this, of course, in PowerPoint, and you can just drag a box around the objects, and Control G will group it, or right click and save it as a picture to upload it to Facebook, which I did. But I duplicated that, and I couldn't stop at 3 people. And I did it for several people. And I use that as a template. And then I just change the colors and, of course, the words. Once you have a color, let's say I want this fill, shape format, fill, color. Then I can go back to the home, double click the format painter, and just, come on. Well, maybe I'm using too many resources, but anyway, you just paint the other things and they turn the same color. So it saves you a lot of time. Control Z, because I don't want to do that. There's so much more that you can learn about PowerPoint. It is so much fun, so creative. And I know I went fast. I hope that you got something out of this. I look forward to your questions, and this was just the tip of the iceberg. Just know that and have fun with it. I hope that you'll be able to do what you want to. And my email is in the handout. Email me with questions, but put in the subject line what it is, because I get flooded with emails and I don't want to miss yours. So if you want help, just let me know. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Very amazing. Thank you so much, Marcia. And like I said, if I'd had this back about 10 or so years ago, more people would be using PowerPoint than just making a presentation slide. Judy, over to you.
Yes, well, I'm going to read your comment. With all these things you can do with PowerPoint, I can see why LibreOffice called their presentation program Impress, as this is all impressive. So very good. Bill wanted to know, how do you get Bright Slide, and is it a paid app? And I Googled it, and I will add a link to it, and it is not a paid app, and it is for Windows. Is there a way to send a slideshow to someone that does not have PowerPoint? Can they still view the slideshow even if they don't have it?
Yes, you can export it. You could export it as a video and send them the video, or if you go to export, and within it used to be file save as, you can save it as an Adobe PDF under file.
It's just plain PDF.
Right,
File save as PDF.
Also, if you go to save file, save a copy, there is or there used to be a PowerPoint show, PPSX. I don't do that anymore, so I wasn't sure if they still had it, but they do. And they don't have to have PowerPoint for that.
Or you could save them all as JPEGs.
You certainly could.
Okay. Are all the slides rectangles, or can you have square slides or rectangles that are portrait shape, i.e. vertical rectangles?
Yes, you can't have like triangles or circles, but you can change the page dimensions. So Word, I use Word for a lot of things, but the graphics part I do in PowerPoint, and then I copy and put it into Word. However, you could change the dimensions within PowerPoint to be 8.5 by 11, and then do everything in PowerPoint if you wanted to. But you lose some of your word processing tools in that usage, to me.
What is the website to get the elf pictures?
Oh, gee, I don't know. But just search. And if you go to Google Images, put in your topic and then *.png, you'll get a lot of different things. And I think I searched for GNOME, GNOME.
And please be extremely careful. Follow the link of the picture all the way through to make sure it's not copyrighted or they want money for it, because we have some APCUG group websites who have received dunning letters from a firm in Canada, and they are finding copyrighted graphics in PDF presentations on websites and saying, any money you owe it because it's a copyrighted picture. So be extremely careful about that. If it's going to be in Facebook, or it's going to be on your website or somebody else's website, because everybody's out to get money today.
Thank you. And in the handout that you'll be getting from me, I talk quite a bit about Creative Commons and attribution. So you'll want to take a look at that probably.
Can you, how do you make a folded card in PowerPoint?
Well, I guess you could do animations to make a rectangle move like that. And I bet there are templates out there for that. I've never done it.
Okay.
Or maybe like a trifold.
Oh, well, I have done pictures and then pasted them into a Word template that I use for greeting cards. And I print it out and fold it.
John, over to live Q&A, and we already have a question up there.
And what we'll do is say to people that if you have a question or comment, to raise your hand so that your name goes to the top of our list, and then we can call on you to unmute and ask. So our person went away. They didn't want to ask their question. So if you have any questions for Bob or for that, okay, there's Della. Della, you can go ahead and unmute and ask us.
She forgot to mention how to add sounds. I like to find out how to add sound. For example, you close the door, boom, you know, and water's running. There's a way you can add a sound. How do you do
that? You would save that sound. It will be an MP3. Just search for that slamming door MP3 and save that to your computer, and it would be just like I added that song. Insert media, audio, this device.
Does the PowerPoint provide those sound effects in the software?
No, but they do have, you can, it has a, from stock, or let me go there so I can see what I'm talking about. Audio, no, it's just audio on my PC or record audio. So if you want to slam a door, you could record it.
Okay. By the way, if you want to find the elf picture, you can use Microsoft, go to Insert and click. You can search online to find any picture you want.
Yes.
Oh,
Bill.
Bill, that was both of us that said Bill, unmute and share.
This is a question for Bob. Bob, I really enjoyed your presentation, but I think there might be a concern about spam and other things when you use the free card sites. Do you have anything you want to share on that?
Unfortunately, I really don't know for sure. If it were me and I wasn't sure, like I'm not right now, I would probably just do an internet search with that name and what happens to the emails that I give them. Thinking in terms of they might want to take those emails and use them for spam. I would guess you would find some answers if that were the case.
Judy?
Thank you.
I use a free site and as well as a paid site. And nobody's ever said, how could you do that to me? And I don't receive any spam because they have my email address. But with Evite, one of my daughter's husbands used it a few years ago, used it to invite all of us to July 4, to this, that, and he used it for a few months. And when I looked at for a presentation I do on password security, I looked up all my passwords and have I been pawned? And by golly, my information has been taken from Evite. And I, called him on the phone and said, how could you do this to me? And he said, oh, I haven't used that for eons. And I went, thank you so very much for even using it once. So you never know when that's going to happen. And it obviously does happen. Do we have any more questions? We love questions. John, you're on.
You said you could use PowerPoint for free?
Yes, at Microsoft.com. But you have to use it online, and you probably won't be able to do all of the things that I showed you. I'm not sure because I can't try that. I mean, I don't try that.
Oh, I see.
And a lot of the stuff, not anywhere near all of it in any way, shape, or form, you can use with Google Slides. It's a bare bones program. Over to Steve.
I've got a comment for Bob. My mother sent me a Jackie Lawson birthday card one quite a few years ago now, and I've kept it ever since. It was one with a game in it that is about as addictive as Tetris. I don't know if there are any. I don't know if there are any other cards in there, but it's almost worth just getting a membership to that site just to find them.
That sounds like a great experience. I don't know much about them. I received one here not long ago myself. It was very nice, and they do a really good job.
I received 4 Jackie Lawson Thanksgiving cards, and each one was totally different. In one, the turkeys did the can, and you knew what was going to happen. And in the last one, the pots and pans danced around for Thanksgiving dinner. I forward them to 2 of my friends, and here's a secondhand Thanksgiving card for you. And then I asked them to vote on which one they liked the best. And all 3 of us liked the pots and pans one better. But each Jackie Lawson card is unique. And most of the cards I receive from people online are Jackie Lawson. And back in the day, she only had a few, and it features a dog. And over time, they have expanded their cards. And I get emails all the time. We have a new one. We have a new one this, a new one that. So if you are going to go to a buy site, that one is just really way cool. And everybody who receives them appreciates them so much.
Any other questions or comments to share with the group or ask our presenters today?
Nope, outstanding presentations, Bob and Marcia. We really appreciate it. 2 totally different ones, but this should get, save the postage, do something on your computer, create an e-card. Don't stand in line at the post office like I have had to do the last few days. But, you know, make use of your technology skills and enhance your technology skills with something new.
I'll back that up. I agree with you. It's time for everybody to take chances, and sometimes that's all you can do to learn something with your computer or any technology device for that matter.
And Monday was e-card day. And the reason I know that is our green Santa Clarita, which is our recycle and all this good kind of stuff entity with the city, sent it out and reminded us that we should be sending e-cards in not creating any waste. Joyce.
How do we get a copy of the PowerPoint of Marcia's presentation? There was so much information. I don't remember half
I
of
will
it.
be sending that all the handouts out to everybody today.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
thank you.
remember that Marcia doesn't have a PowerPoint, but she has her instructions and everything like that that'll be with it.
And for all intents and purposes, Bob's presentation and his handout is the same. So you will be getting two handouts. And the handouts, at least Bob's, are in, you know,
PDF.
regular 8.5 by 11 page format. And that's much easier to read than a PowerPoint handout anyway.
And not only is it easy to read, that the links are right there and easy to get to.
Mm-hmm.
Live links. And I'll remind everybody that the workshop today has been recorded, and you will get a private link to an unlisted website that you will be able to watch this again. And then in the future, it'll be posted public for other groups to use for their programs.
Could I just add one more thing about the videos? Are they hosted on YouTube?
Yes, since 2012.
So if you, in YouTube, and many people know this, but not everyone, if you click under the video, if you click on more, you can say open transcript, and that will open up all of the text that the people are saying, and you can do Control F, which is find, and type in background, and it will jump right to like format background. It will find that word, it will jump you to that place in the transcript. You click on that, and then it will jump you to that place in the video.
Nice.
I often copy the transcript and put it in Word so that I have a transcript of whatever that video is about.
Price of admission, you guys, and it was free today, as it always has been.
As a benefit of you being a member of a club that is a member of APCUG.
Absolutely.
Diane.
Unmute
yourself.
please.
That would be a good idea, right? Can you hear me
Yes.
now? Okay, I sound like that commercial. I just wanted to add one thing to Jackie Lawson, because I've been a customer of theirs for years. I always go in and renew for 2 years. They have a plan, but they also have a plan where you can send a gift as to someone to be, you know, to have Jackie Lawson for a year or whatever. And this being Christmas, you know, that might be something that somebody would want to consider giving somebody as a gift, because in December, they also have the Advent wreath that you can download, and it's just a couple of dollars. And then you click on something every day in December, and you get to do something like a puzzle or a game, like someone was mentioning earlier. So it's more than just sending cards. And I think they're up to almost 400 to choose from. I just wanted to let that's FYI.
Thank you. I know Bill James sent Advent wreaths last year.
Yes, very nice.
Anybody else have a comment or question? Use the reaction, raise your hand so we can see you at the top of the list because there's so
John,
many.
did you notice that Diane didn't have any sleeves on? She was wearing something sleeveless. I just thought I'd let you know that if you missed it.
Oh. Hey,
Yes,
we're
that's where I am.
we're going to be 57 coming up on
Oh,
tomorrow. That's warm for Ohio. Della.
I have a question. Can Marcia repeat from YouTube more and find the items?
Could I just take 2 minutes to show that?
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's go to YouTube. Well, I thought I had a video up, but okay, YouTube. You're going to see things I like, perhaps. Ooh, too much going on, I think. Okay, so I just recently watched how to quilt labels using a long arm quilting machine. I don't know that anybody else here might want to know that, but it works on all of these videos. And hopefully it's going to speed up just a little bit. So here's the video. And it's 31 minutes long. Here, you see these 3 dots. Whenever you see 3 dots, that means there's more information and you can be curious about it. So click on that and here's open transcript. And now, normally this is seamless. You know, you just click on it and it's open, but not right now. Now, everything she says is going to come along here and it tells you the seconds and the video is still loading. But if I do a control, if I click over here and I do a control F and here's my search bar, and then let me see, this was label. So if I just type in label and then press enter, normally it would just jump right to that label, stitching a label, and right there's label. I can click on that and it will jump to that part of the video. And what I said was I highlight the whole thing and paste it into Word, and then I put it into a table and manipulate it. I also turn on the closed captions because I'm a little bit hard of hearing, and it just enables me to read it in all those different places. Are there any other questions on this?
Yes, does that just work on premium YouTube, or does it work also on the regular one, the free one?
I think it works on all of them.
Mm-hmm.
You have premium?
I think it works. I have premium, but I think it works. Maybe somebody could quickly try it and tell us if they see that open transcripts if they don't have premium. That's a great question. I'm sorry, I don't know the answer.
And you will only find closed captioning on those videos that have enabled it. Not all of them have it, unfortunately.
Anybody else? We've had a really terrific, my brain's going crazy because Judy knows I'm going to go and see what all I can do on Impress.
And Marcia asked why he wears he's keeping his brain in. So he retains all the information and it doesn't seep out any place.
Nobody gets into my head.